Hello, this is Green Philosophy. Today I'm going to be sharing highlights from Shahid Bolsen's The Decline of the West Was the Plan. Lift the tariffs. Pause the tariffs. It doesn't matter. The damage is done. Confidence in global markets and trust has been demolished at this point. And that was the point. The point is American isolation. That's what's happening, and that's what will happen. This is the direction that has no U-turn. It has no detour. It has no turns at all. It is irreversible. The OCGFC, owners of globalized financial capital, is not an organized cabal. They are the highest tiers of the hierarchy: political, economic, social. Think tanks like the World Economic Forum, they aren't coming up with ideas and strategies. They just articulate or translate into the language of policy proposals what the OCGFC, owners of globalized financial capital, already intend to do. Think tanks are basically PR firms for the political class. If you made an evaluation of America and the global landscape, say 10 years ago in 2015, we can imagine what it would look like and what responses you would probably see if you were from that group. It's not that hard, really. You'd be sitting in a boardroom looking at macro trends, political forecasts, demographic data, capital returns, and of course the viability of maintaining control, sustaining dominance without destabilizing your own structures. You'd want to extract, you'd want to continue growing, but not at the expense of triggering systematic collapse that you can't contain. So you'd analyze America, the heart of your power for decades, and you'd start preparing plans because the real situation has changed significantly from the early days. So if you're somebody from the national owners of globalized financial capital, the owners of and controllers of global financialized capital, and you made an evaluation of America and the global landscape from around 2015, you'd have some very stark conclusions. The trends were all there, the writing was on the wall. If your goal was uninterrupted profit extraction, geopolitical control, and long-term systematic stability for capital, America just didn't look like a good bet anymore. You can go point by point. You have demographic decline. You'd see declining birth rates in the United States. Total fertility rate was already below replacement level by 2015, sitting around 1.8% and dropping. By 2023, it hit 1.62%, according to the Centers for Disease Control, CDC. That's below the replacement level of 2.1. Well, that means in the future a shrinking labor force, increased aging population, higher dependency ratios, and so on. More strain on social services, less domestic consumption, and so on. Compare that to India or Nigeria, or to the broader sub-Saharan region. Nigeria's population is expected to double by 2015. India already took China as the most populous country in 2023. The center of gravity is shifting. Then you have other issues. The OCGFC, owners and controllers of globalized financial capital, would have looked at Ferguson in 2014, Baltimore in 2015, seen the rise of Black Lives Matter, not because they care about racism or police violence, not at all, but because civil unrest is bad for business. Then, of course, Trump happened in 2016. Half the country is radicalized, the other half was traumatized. Social cohesion was fraying. Trust in institutions was plummeting. In 2021, the trust barometer showed the trust in the media and the government had collapsed among Americans. The Capitol was stormed, right? So-called insurrection. You have political dysfunction, you have gridlock. This is not a good environment for capital. You have political dysfunction and gridlock, you have polarization and institutional paralysis. The 2010s showed that the US couldn't pass even basic legislation. Infrastructure fell into disrepair. According to the American Society of Civil Engineers, the US had a C- rating in infrastructure in 2021. And again, this is from The Decline of the West Was the Plan by Shahid Bolsen, I welcome your questions and comments.